Welcome back to the Blue North. Today, I'd like to talk about Barack Obama's the newest revelation that he was involved in the Russian hoax and the General Flynn FBI investigation, and he was tied right in. Well, color me surprised. Another Democrat doing something despicable and underhanded. When is there going to be accountability for Barack Obama and his actions? When is there going to be accountability for Adam Schiff, for Nancy Pelosi, for all of these, Ilhan Omar marrying her own brother? When does the when does it really start to fall down on them? When does the walls start to cave in on them? They keep saying that the walls were caving in on Trump and that this is the final nail in the coffin, and they had all these catchy things that the mainstream media were just really bombarding people with every day. And it was all, and the Democrats knew that it was all fake, empty, hollow stuff. None of it was true. They knew way back that when they interviewed 53 people, there was no Russian collusion. But yet they had a Mueller report, 2 years, 25 billion, or sorry, 25 million, and yet every day going to the mainstream media and saying that there was actual evidence, and the evidence is right there, and it's very visible, and we can see it, and it's going to come out, and the people are going to see it. They knew there was none. They knew all along that there was no evidence. So now we see that Barack Obama is involved in this. And it just, when do we actually hold these Democrats accountable for these actions? When do we say enough is enough? This has gone on way too long, way too many instances for this to be a mistake. This is just the mainstream media helping the Democrats pull one after another scam on the American voters. And that's what's the problem here. There needs to be accountability so that they can start to draw the line in the sand for the future. We see that in California they're already trying to set up a little bit of a head start on trying to on the vote. They want California all blue. They want it all blue. So I see that they're trying to set it up, and some of the Republicans are already raising the red flag that the Democrats are starting to do some underhanded things leading into this election in California. Like, how many times are the Democrats going to get caught trying to sway a vote for themselves? And not just sway a vote, everybody wants to sway a vote. They illegally do it and they get away with it. Donna Brazil. Then we see in the midterms, we've seen that they had Florida, Colorado. They had ballots in trunks and cars at the airport. There was all kinds of evidence that the Democrats were trying underhanded things. So when do they hold these people accountable? For election tampering? Nothing. For fake investigations? Nothing. When you see Barack Obama trying to be involved, is there anything going to come out of this? No, I bet you it's not. Adam Schiff for all of his stuff? Probably not. Why? Why is there such a double standard? Why, if that was a Republican, and if this was the Republican Party that was trying these things, these underhanded, deceptive things to sway American voters, to sway the process, to sway the people's impression of a president, they have just bombarded Trump for 4 years with all of this stuff. And I hear it constantly about how he's a misogynist, he's a all these other names that they have for him, and racist. They twist things. They twisted a tape about the Charlottesville where they said he was saying there was good people on both sides, and they said it was about the neo-Nazis. He he said that the neo-Nazis and the white supremacists have to be eradicated from existence. Now, those are strong words. He means that ideology, not the people, but yet they didn't even go with that. They twisted it to a point where they said, see, he's racist. He's saying that there's good people in the neo-Nazis. But watch the whole tape. But they don't want you to watch the whole tape. The CNN and MSNBC, they want you to watch snippets and they doctor it. Why is there no accountability for that? Why is there no actions that can be taken to put these people in their place for that? Now we see Jimmy Kimmel was doctoring tapes, and he was playing Attorney General Barr's statement, and they twisted that, and they manipulated that. They constantly manipulate what the American people are getting as far as information on the late night shows, on the CNN and MSNBC shows. Why do they and I understand it's all for ratings, it's all for trying to get people to vote for the party that the mainstream media wants. But I don't understand why there's not any laws. There's no laws that prohibit this. Like Adam Schiff should be in jail. The Clintons, both of them, should be in jail. One should be in there for his actions towards women. The woman should be in there because she's just a ridiculous fool that constantly does things and gets caught, but again, she walks away. That whole Benghazi thing should have put her in jail. It was ridiculous. People's lives were lost. Four Americans. And what does she do? She lies about it. She said it was over a movie. And then when she's caught, what does it matter? What does it matter? Well, I know that on the Democrat side, nothing matters. I know that there's never going to be a time where the Democrats take the high road, where they're going to say, wait, this is immoral. Or, wait, we can't do that. We shouldn't do that. We're going to look like fools. That doesn't ever come out of their mouth. These thoughts never pop into their head. They never stop and think about what it's going to look like when it comes out after. Neither do the mainstream media. They never don't play this snippet of a tape that we doctored about Nick Sandmann standing on Capitol Hill with a mega hat on. Nobody will ever look at the real tape and find out that we doctored it, and he was the only person that day that actually looked like an adult. Yet we'll make him look like the bad guy. Then they did that, and they doctored the tape, and they made him look like he was the guy going after Nathan Phillips, and that Nathan Phillips was trying to just protest quietly, and he was, and Nick Sandmann went after him. So when the real tape comes out, and Nick Sandmann sues CNN for $255 million, they settled out of court. But I'll tell you, they didn't settle for a little amount. They probably settled for millions of dollars for Nick Sandmann. So why do you do it? Why do you take the risk? Why take the risk of looking foolish? Why take the risk of looking like fake news? Why take the risk of pulling something that's going to further cement the fact that you were the worst president in the U.S.'s history, Barack Obama? So get involved. All of this, all of these risks are worth it if you can keep Donald Trump from the presidency. Well, it failed. And you look foolish. So now it's an election year. And everything that you were fearful of, everything that you thought was possible under Donald Trump's leadership has happened. He has brought jobs back. He did make the economy boom. He did lower the unemployment in blacks and Hispanics to an all-time. It's never been lower. The GDP, when they said it was never going to be bigger than 1.2 or something like that, Obama said, it went to 4.1. Everything that Trump has done has turned golden. And now, even during this pandemic, Trump has closed the border. He has acted as fast as he can. So does he get any help from the governors? Well, he does from the GOP ones. But does the Democrats put anybody before making Trump look bad? No. So let people die. Don't cooperate with the federal level. Don't cooperate with Trump and the White House, because if we can get a lot of people to die in our state, well then we can make Trump look bad. And nowhere do they think that it ever shines on them. That negative light will never shine on us. We will just not work with Trump. We will let people die. And guess what? Trump will look bad. And that's their mindset. We've seen it when de Blasio and Nancy Pelosi and New Orleans mayor, everybody said, hey, Trump closed the border today. Get out and share. Ride the subway. Do all these things. Get out. It's not a plague. We are a hardy bunch. They're more interested in working against Trump at all cost. But then they think that they're never going to get caught. It's never going to be something that applies to them, this negative light. So even though we live in an age where everything is on video, everything. Every time Trump moves, it's on video. And they hold him to all kinds of high standards, and Pence and every Republican. And yet, on the Democrat side, the ones that are holding the Republicans to this high standard, there's no standard. There's absolutely zero standard for the Democrats, from the media, from themselves, from late night, from Hollywood. All of these aspects should be working the same for the Democrats as it does for the Republicans. So I want to know why this double standard, but I really want to know why there's no accountability, why Adam Schiff is not being investigated. Now, if the Democrats can investigate Judge Kavanaugh the way they did, have him come before the Senate, drag his name through the mud, and all of that, and have Christine Blasey Ford sit there and tell her story that changed like so many times during the process of her accusing Kavanaugh, and all the people coming out to help, all the people in the streets in Hollywood and the mainstream media, everybody helping this, everybody helping the Democrats' cause to try to get Kavanaugh off the Supreme Court. And nothing in this man's history showcased anything other than hard work and determination. And he built himself a name worthy of being on the Supreme Court, a beautiful family. So all of those things the Democrats wanted to destroy, all because he's a Republican. And now we see Joe Biden's being accused of sexual assault. And we're seeing that there's a lot of evidence that kind of supports it. And we see that, the nasty questions being asked to the Democrat supporters and the Democrats and everybody else. And they simply can avoid it by saying, yeah, but when it comes to Joe, it's not true. And, maybe it's been proven that she's made it up, or, they're coming up with all kinds of excuses. Well, where were the excuses when there was zero proof that Blasey Ford was making? There was no proof whatsoever to her story. And they gave her, and they were even saying that she was I forget how they said it, but she was like a hero for coming forward. Well, where's Tara Reid's Hero Award for coming forward? There's such a double standard, and it's all at the American people's expense. The Democrats, they can't go low enough, and the mainstream media, when they do find them down, they try to build them back up, and they ignore the stories that would keep them down, or the ones that would hold them accountable. The mainstream media comes in after the Democrats get caught in this stuff, and they just work their magic to try to turn it all around and turn it all on the Republicans, and it's not the Democrats, and it wasn't this and this, and you see all of these aspects come together. Hollywood will talk about how bad Trump is, or how bad the Republicans are, and the Democrats will work, and then the mainstream media, everybody comes together to build those Democrats back up, because they know they've fallen, they know they look bad. And all this information that should be going to the American voters doesn't get there. But fake stuff because it's against Trump and the Republicans, that gets there. And I want to know Where's the accountability? Well, it looks like General Barr is doing everything he possibly can to dig up this dirt, to get it out there, to at least get the American people to hear it, that Barack Obama knew there was Russian collusion. Sorry, that there was no Russian collusion. And he went ahead and acted like there was. And he wiretapped Trump's campaign. And we see that Adam Schiff knew there was nothing. And we see that Adam Schiff was working and telling the American people daily through the mainstream media that there was something coming, that it's very tangible. It's right there. We can see it. And we're going to get them. And it's going to be great. And all along, they just were just shoveling crap into every American's home through the TV, through the mainstream media, through social media, everything. Lies. Just lies. And these things have to be held accountable. These actions have to have reactions with laws involved. Or there's just no holding. If you don't hold them accountable, where does it stop? Where's the line in the sand that says, we will not tolerate it again? We will not tolerate this any longer. We cannot have this. This is not right. This is not decent. This is not how it's supposed to be. The only way that it's looking like that's going to be something that it happens maybe is in the election this year, where voters are going to go and they're going to hold these people accountable if they're smart. They need to, because this is just yet another example in a long list of examples of the Democrats doing something shifty, underhanded, and illegal. And hopefully, Attorney General Barr keeps working, keeps getting this, finds that evidence that puts these people in jail maybe. I hope there's a long list of people that are nervous in the States. And I hope that Attorney General Barr gets these. But thank goodness, General Flynn is not sitting in a jail cell having been betrayed by the country that he dedicated so much time and energy to defend. Thank goodness Trump's team is defending him. Stay tuned for more podcasts on the Blue North.